Mr. Speaker, last week the House voted on a bill to reopen the government, but tucked away in the fine print of that bill was something very disturbing and troubling, a very brazen payoff. Millions of taxpayer dollars that could quietly be transferred to the personal bank accounts of 8 Republican senators. These are senators who may have had knowledge or even participated in efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. At a time when Americans are struggling to get ahead, Republicans in both the House and the Senate signed off on a deal that lines the pockets of the very people who wrote it. In the very corner of this district, families are doing everything they can to make ends meet. They are juggling rising grocery costs, higher rents, health care bills that seem to grow every single month. They expect this Congress to meet the moment with integrity, responsibility, and the basic respect for the people we serve. But what Republicans did was an insult to every hardworking taxpayer who plays by the rules and expects honesty from their government. Republicans could have voted it down. They could have passed an amendment to remove that provision from the bill, but despite being given the opportunity to do so, House Republicans let it pass. Now, I'm grateful that the House voted just last night to pass a bill to take this away, but there's no guarantee that the Senate will actually do that. The American people deserve better than this corrupt backroom deals. They deserve better than legislation crafted to enrich the few at the expense of the many. And they certainly deserve better than a governing philosophy that treats cruelty as strength and corruption as strategy. The contrast before us could not be clearer. On one side, we see a Republican majority operating in the currency of cruelty and corruption, willing to hold hostage working families, willing to cut health care, and willing to undermine transparency, all to score political points to reward political friends. On the other side, Democrats are fighting with courage and compassion. We are fighting to protect the Affordable Care Act, to keep health care accessible for millions of Americans. We are fighting to lower costs for families and restore trust in a government that should be working for the people. I urge my colleagues in the Senate to reject this corrupt bargain and pass our bill that takes away this unethical and corrupt payout, and stand with the families who sent us here, families who deserve a government as honest, hardworking, and committed as they are. And I yield back.